Good morning, y'all. We're in Hong Kong, as always, and I think it's been the first time in the last couple of weeks that we've actually got sun and not much cloud cover. And on top of that, no rain. So I decided this is a perfect time to talk about my next topic today. And this one's not one I came up on my own. It was a friend who asked me about this, an older friend. So let's get to it. The question is, my wearable tech / home scales is telling me that my metabolic age is about 6 years more than my actual age. That horrifies me. What is the one urgent action that I should take to get that number down to even my actual age? Now, the thing with metabolic age on these calculators or apps, watches, whatnot, they're actually not a terrible indicator of your metabolic age. Now, let's take a look at the app that I use. So I obviously use the health app, the native app. That's what it's called, native app on Apple. So the health app is pretty good. I don't think they actually give you a metabolic age though. Maybe it's for legal reasons or whatnot. People might sue, but I don't know. So I use this app. It's called the StressWatch app. And I usually use it just to track my overall stress. And that's usually determined through heart rate and heart rate variability. I've talked about this in a previous video, so I won't go over it again. And as you can see, my current biological age on it is 19.3 years old. I'm currently 32, so I'm 12.8 years younger. And don't take it literally. Obviously, I'm probably not actually. But in so saying that, I have not felt this good in a long time, pretty much since university. So maybe there's something to it. Mentally and physically, I feel the best I've ever been. So let's take a look. What are the indicators? Makes my job a little easier here, huh? Looking at the app. So the first influencing factor is sleep duration. Then you got sleep consistency, your zone 1 to 3 training, zone 4 to 5 training per week, strength training per week. You've got your daily steps, VO2 max, resting heart rate, and body fat percentage. So let's just go through each one. Sleep duration, that's pretty obvious, right? If you're getting in at least 7 hours a week, that's going to make a massive difference on your metabolic age. Mentally, physically, it's really important to make sure you get your sleep. And that's pretty much it. Next, your sleep consistency. Now, a lot of people underestimate how important this is. So what does it mean by sleep consistency? Is making sure that you sleep on time and wake up on time. By that, it means your circadian rhythm needs to be on point. Now, mine's been a bit off lately ever since I came back from Japan. So I'm still trying to fix that. It also did not help that I bought a new second-hand gaming laptop. So I try and cut off my gaming by 10:30 latest, but I might even stop it at 10 now because I struggle a bit with racing thoughts after gaming. And yeah, it's better to just stop it short a little earlier, but for some people, maybe it doesn't affect them as much, but blue light is also a big problem when it comes to gaming. So that's why I need to make sure I stop it even earlier if possible. So yeah, that's sleep consistency, really. Not much else to it. Next, you got your zone 1 to 3 training. So that's, again, straightforward, pretty much anything aerobic based. Zone 3 can also be anaerobic as well. Well, no, it's still aerobic largely, but yeah, don't overthink it too much. It's pretty much your easy / moderate intensity cardio, and that's very important. Next, you've got your zone 4 to 5 training. So that's obviously higher intensity work, high heart rate, and that's your HIIT or anything that's a bit more intense where you pretty much can't talk at all during your exercise. And most people probably don't do enough of this. And there's plenty of correlation to show that, there's plenty of correlation where the more intense your heart works, the less likely you will end up with cardiovascular disease, okay? So do your zone 4 and 5 as well, not just your zone 1 to 3. Even though zone 1 to 3 is actually enough if you're doing enough volume of it, technically. Strength training, again, that's obvious, weight training. So for those of y'all who don't weight train, you should probably try and aim to weight train at least twice a week, ideally 3, full body, and that's gonna bump up your health score as well. You got your daily steps. That's pretty straightforward as well. Aim to get, for most people, bare minimum 8,000 steps per day. If you're running, that makes it a lot easier, and that's why a lot of people run as well. It's also very easy to access running for most people, and that's usually the modality of choice for cardio. Then you've got your VO2 max. Again, that's correlated with your zone 1 and 4 training, zone 1 to 3 and zone 4 to 5 training. So if you're already doing those things, your VO2 max should technically go up. Now, obviously, if you're not improving your zone 1 to 3 and zone 4 to 5 times for whatever modality of choice you're using, like swimming, biking, whatever, then your VO2 max might not go up. And there's also a very high correlation between VO2 max and reduced all-cause mortality risk, okay? So you do want to try and improve your cardio as well and not just do cardio, okay? Resting heart rate, again, that's pretty straightforward. That's also very highly correlated with exercise, so cardio exercise. If you're doing enough cardio, your resting heart rate will naturally drop as well, so I wouldn't be too concerned. And on top of that, if you, the other thing is what also affects resting heart rate is stress, anxiety, sleep. So if you're dealing with these things properly, you're not too anxious and stressed, your resting heart rate should naturally drop as well. And that's another factor. And finally, body fat percentage. So that's also really straightforward. If you have a higher body fat percentage, you increase risk, all-cause mortality risk across the board. So be wary of your body fat percentage. Now, a lot of people overestimate how low they need to drop for health. Honestly, if you're a guy, if you're within 20% body fat and below, you should be fine, pretty healthy range. And for women, 25, 30%, you're gonna be good as well. Obviously, if you wanna look defined and toned, that's toned. I don't like that word, but if you wanna look defined, that's a different story. You wanna look jacked, also a different story. You need to put on more muscle mass. You have to be leaner. Generally, for abs to show, you need to be at about 12% or below. And that's a totally different ball game. But yeah, there's a correlation, obviously, with higher body fat, lower body fat percentage and health-related outcomes, positive health-related outcomes. And yeah, now, I didn't actually answer the question because the question was one thing. But in my opinion, there really is no one thing because it's a holistic approach. And you can't just tackle one and think, oh, well, my age has dropped now, that's great. No, you've got to do everything together. But if I really had to say one thing, here's the thing. The question also depends, right? Is it one thing that you can action now and it's easy to do? Because none of it is easy, I can tell you that. Or is it one thing that will make the biggest difference? So let me answer both. I think the one thing that is probably easiest to do on this list, very subjective, but I do think daily steps is probably the easiest thing to do. You can just go out and walk, and that's probably not psychologically too difficult for most people because most people know how to walk. Whereas even, let's say, sleep, yeah, technically it's really easy. I'll just go to bed earlier tonight. But for a lot of people, the habit, like even for someone like me who's so into health, that habit is so ingrained in me where I sleep really late, wake up really late. Obviously now I'm much better, but yeah, that took me a while to correct. So yeah, sure, it's easy to say it, but not easy to do. So I would probably say daily steps and getting in your 8,000 steps per day. It's easier if you have a dog as well. So if you have a dog, go walk. Walk your dog 2 or 3 times a day. No excuses. Don't let anyone else walk the dog. And if anything, it helps you bond with the dog. And research has shown personal relationships will improve your health. And that's the main metric, that's one of the main factors in increasing long-term happiness. So there you go. Get closer to your dog. Now, in terms of one thing that I think is the most important, may not be the easiest to do, but the most important, that's a really tough one. But my personal opinion, I'm gonna go with sleep. So getting down your sleep duration and sleep consistency, because without sleep, it's very difficult to do all the other things. There's studies to obviously show you're less motivated to go exercise. You're gonna fatigue faster. It's gonna be more tiring. Your performance drops. And then mentally as well, you're not gonna feel as good. You're more irritable. It's harder to emotionally regulate. So I would probably go with sleep. Sleep is the most important thing you can do for recovery. Now, how you can do that is very difficult. It's not easy. Dealing with sleep hygiene, there's so many factors in how you need to improve your sleep hygiene in order to make sure you sleep well. And here's the thing. What I've noticed with a lot of people is a lot of them are in denial when it comes to sleep. So that's why I don't even give advice anymore and I don't bother. Because a lot of people go, yeah, well, but I'm a night owl. Or, yeah, well, I have this, I have that. And sure, you might be a night owl. I think studies have shown that 10 to 15% of us genuinely are night owls and struggle to sleep. Fair, fine. You know, I'm not here to say that. But the first thing to do is identify that, yes, you do have a sleeping problem, because fact of the matter is most people I know have a sleeping problem. They're not sleeping properly. If you're someone who is sleeping at 10 p.m. and waking up at 6 or 7 a.m. consistently every day, you don't have a sleep problem. And assuming that you wake up feeling good, because I think only until I started dialing down on my sleep the last couple of months, I didn't realize that you can actually wake up feeling fresh and good. And I think most people I know, especially in Hong Kong, do not feel that way. They wake up groggy, tired, etc. And then obviously people who work 9 to 5s, in Hong Kong it's not even 9 to 5, most people are working like 9 to 7 at the bare minimum. They obviously want to revenge procrastinate, they go out eating, eat late, drink caffeine all the time. There's just so many things that they're not doing correctly for sleep hygiene. And then you wonder, why are they struggling? And it's no surprise. So that was a long-winded way of saying, get your sleep right, fix that first. Once that falls into place, everything becomes a little easier. And that's all I've got to say for this video. I hope this was useful and helpful, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.